Hey friends, welcome to TechHarvesting. In today's video, we are going to have a look at how we can add navigation and routing to our React applications. So we're going to be using a package called React Router, and it recently had a new version called version 6. So this had a lot of new features, and we're going to have a look at how all this works. And at the end, we'll also have a look at a lot of hooks so that we can use them in our React application. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So to get started, I've come here over to reactrouter.com, and this is the official website for the React Router package. And this is the NPM package website, and you can see it has about 5.6 million downloads every week. This is a very popular package, and the version 6 is actually a new release. A few weeks back it was released, and there are a lot of breaking changes in this release. So if you have version 5 in any of your projects right now, then you'll have to change a few parts of your code to make it compatible with version 6. So right now, let's go ahead and get started with the React Router. So you can click on read the docs, go to installation, and in here you have all the different ways you can install it. I'm going to use yarn. You can still use npm if you want. You can just do npm install react router dom at 6, and react router dom is the name of the package. It's not just react router, and that is because we have a react router package separately which has even native navigation. So you can just copy this command, come back here, open the terminal, and paste that. And this project right here is created with a utility called Vite, and it helps us to create React projects very quickly. Not just React, it helps us to create a lot of projects, and it's a build system, so it makes our code much faster to run. So we can now go ahead and delete the unnecessary files from here. So these files are not needed for our project. This is a simple application, so we can remove these. I'm just gonna remove all of those. Remove that, oops, and also these imports. Okay, so we also don't need that. Once we have installed the React Router DOM package, if you want, you can just go ahead and read through all these. Even they have an upgrade guide, so if you have version 5, you can upgrade to version 6, but we'll do everything by ourselves now. So we can see the React Router DOM package got installed, and we're going to import it into our application. So this React Router package provides us with a component called Browser Router, and it's like a wrapper. So we wrap our entire application in this component. So we can see in here, we're just going to import the Browser Router from React Router DOM. So browser router is just a function, just a React element, as you can see, jsx.element. So what you can do is create a browser router like that, and all these inside. So our application will be wrapped inside this browser router component. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add some routes. So for that, we have a few objects. So first one is route, and the next one is routes, so RUTES. So this is a single route, and this is where all the routes of our application are going to be. So now let's create a routes component, and inside this we're going to provide all our routes. So route first will be our home page. So when we go to our home page, what do we want to be displayed? I'm going to remove that, make this a self-closing tab, and we're going to give the path first. So the path is where the address of this route is. So if you give a slash, which means if you go to the home page, what should be displayed. And here you can give an element. Now before React Router version 6, it was called component render. We can give all those props, but in version 6, it is element. And you give like this, and pass in the JSX element. So you can give div like that, and maybe hello. So now if you run our project, and since we're using Vite, we can do yarn dev or npm run dev, and it started. So you can just go to localhost 3000, and in our home page we get hello, which is what we are rendering here. So it's very simple to have a home page. Now we can have multiple pages. For example, we want to have slash me, and you can give you are Naseel, just a page like that. And if you go here to slash me and hit enter, oops, it's slash me, then you can see you are Naseel. So this is working. All this does is we are specifying each of our routes in here, and they're all getting mapped to here. So when whichever URL we go, it's gonna take us there. If you just give like that without a slash, is the home page, this one right here. Now I just want to make it like a page, so I'm just gonna create a pages folder, and inside that home.jsx, and let's create a React component. Now in here, instead of displaying this hello, we're going to display that component that we just created. So I'm just going to go here and replace that. Import home and display that in here. So the same thing should work still. So if I give a refresh, as you can see, we still get hello, and this is the home page. The same thing should work for this also. So I'm just going to create a new one called me.jsx. Of course you could still use JS, but I prefer using JSX. And in here you could just remove that, replace it here, and go ahead and import the me component. I'm just calling it a page because the whole page is gonna be in there. Me. So that should again work. So if I go to localhost/me, as you can see, we're getting what we want. So the same text is being displayed there. Okay, so that was just the basics. So what if we want to go like from here, from our home page, we're gonna have a link, for example. Let's keep it inside this div. So we want to do a/me go to me page. So if you go here, you can see if we go to the home page, you know what, this should not be here. You can keep it in our home page. So in our home page, we have this go to me page button, which is a link, and if you click on that, you can see it takes some time and loads it. So if you pay close attention to the icon over here, if I click on that, it loads and brings us this page. Now we don't want that. This is React, and we're not going to be using that. This is a single page application with routes. So instead of using this a component, we're going to be using a component called link, which is provided from the React router DOM package. So you can do import link from React router DOM and replace this a with link. And if you're thinking how I selected these two together, I just selected this first one, hit the control key, kept holding it, and selected this one also, so we can multi-select it. So this should be 2. So the link component takes the href property as 2 and not href. So make sure to do that. You might get confused in there, but instead of using the a tag, we're using this link tag, link component, and in here, instead of href, we are giving 2. If you come back here, you can see we have go to pages. I don't know why we have that s in there. And if you go click on that, you can see there's no loading in here. I'll show you once again. Look at the icon here, and it's immediately taken. It's much faster than loading the entire page from the beginning. So when we're using React Router DOM, we won't use the a component or the a tag, the HTML element. We'll be using this link component from the React Router DOM package. So I'm back here in the me component, and now let's start looking at some hooks that this React Router package provides us. So first, let's have a look at this React Router's use search params hook, which helps us to get the query parameters from a URL. So you can just import use search params from React Router DOM. Let me just collapse that, and we can create a variable here. So const search params set search params equals use search params. This syntax is kind of like the use state hook. So with this, we have a .get method, which helps us to get search parameter, and in here we can set some search parameters. So I'm just gonna use effect from React, and when we load the page, I want to log one of these the parameter in here. So I have just added this a redirect parameter for just for showing you guys. So in here I can just do console.log search params.get. So we use this function and we get the name of this. So here it's redirect equals yes. So we can have the name as redirect. And in here we should give the brackets so that it does not keep doing it just for the first time. So if you reload now, we can see we get yes in here, and that's because we passed yes in here. You just have to give question mark redirect equals yes. Of course you can do anything over here. I just gave redirect in here. You could have any value, hit enter, and you get it in here. So that's the use of this search params hook. Now I'm just gonna make it a little more better. So value of redirect, can do that so it looks a bit more better. And if we don't give any value like this, we will be getting null as the value. So you can take care of that in your application if you want to, but by default it just gives null, and if you have a value it gives us the value from the URL. So that is the use of this use search params hook. So I'm just gonna remove those and this. So you know what, let's just keep that and we'll have a look at the other hooks now. So next let's have a look at the use location hook. So again this is simple, const location equals use location is what we use this, and I can just maybe console.log the location. And I'm going to show you now what this hook gives us. What's wrong? Okay, it should work if I do a reload. As you can see, we get this object. It has a hash, a key, a path name, and a search. So this is actually the information of our route. So if I were to again give the redirect equals something, then if you look here, you have the search populated with our search parameters here. The path name is the path name, so you can give /me. So that's why we get the /me. The key, it's just a key for React to understand stuff, and hash also. If you want, you can learn more about that. But right now, it's just an empty string. So that's the use location hook. You can get the current path name, which means the place that we are currently on, the URL, and also we'll get the query parameters. So that's what mostly we use this use location hook for. But again, you can use it for multiple uses. Next, we're going to have a look at the use navigate hook, which helps us to redirect the user to some other pages. So you can import use navigate and const navigate equals use navigate. Now we can just make use of a parameter, so we can create a parameter like redirect to home page, and if it's there in the query parameters, we're just going to redirect the user to the home page. So we can do const redirect to home page equals search params.get redirect to home, and we'll check if, you know what, that should be small. So we're going to check if the redirect to home page is yes, then we're going to do navigate /. So it's very simple what we're doing. When the page loads, first we're checking if this parameter, which is redirect to home, is having the value yes. So if in here we pass redirect to home equals yes, then we should be redirected to the home page. So let's try it out, hit enter. You can see it got redirected to the home page. And if I do the same thing, /me, without the redirect to home page, we're still staying in this page. So the use navigate hook is used for redirecting the user. You might use this, for example, when a user signs up to your application. Once the sign up is finished, you can just call this function navigate / or /dashboard or something, and it's going to redirect the user to that page. Next, I want to show you that how we can have multiple routes with different data. So what I mean is that if you want to go to /users/:id or :username. So what this is that, for example, in our application there might be users, and if you want to go to a particular user's profile, we can do /users/username, so /Naseel, or it can be any username in here. So we can have this : before our route's name, and we can have the name of a parameter in here, and we'll be able to access the value of this parameter in our route with the help of a hook. So I'm just going to create a new route. So it's going to be user.jsx, and we can just create a component, and in here we're going to display the user component. Okay, so in here we can do welcome to the user page, and in here we're going to use a hook called use params in order to get the data from our parameters. So in here we can give slash user slash something here. If you hit enter, wait, let's go back and let me just users. Okay, it's users, small typo there. Let's see if we get this. So what we want is, instead of doing that, instead of just giving this, under that we can show like this is the profile of, and this parameter that we're going to pass in here at the top. So for that we are going to import the use params hook from React Router, and you can do const params equals use params. So now we can just again use effect and pass an empty array, and we can just do console.log params. And now if we go back here, we can see we get username :re. So we gave re here, and if you're wondering how this key became username, that's because we passed here as username. If you pass this as user, just user, this would become user. So you can see it's user. Let's keep it as username in this case. Also, you can just go here and do username like that and just destructure it out. That's also fine. Let's do that for now. But you can still keep it as a single object and do like the params dot username or something like that. So in here, it's very simple now. We're just gonna have this is the profile of username. Now if we come back here and reload, we can see this is the profile of re, and we can just do something else, and it takes us to the profile. So that's rendering properly. Next, I also want to show you a small thing like how we can create a 404 page or something. That's also very useful sometimes. If we don't have a resource that can be found, we'll need a 404 page. So this is very simple to do in React Router. You just create a new route, just give a slash path. You know, we already have a slash path, but what React Router does is it checks through all these routes and it finds the first matching route. So this is the first matching route, slash. So if you just go to the home page now, we will get slash. We'll get this home component. So this won't work. But in case all these are not matching, for example, if we go to slash something like that, hit enter, because it's no routes match location slash that. So we'll need to have a 404 page. So I'm not going to create a not found component, and let's go ahead and create that right now. So not found.jsx, and we can do 404 page not found. So now I'm going back here and changing the path to star or asterisk. So if you make this a star, then it's gonna go ahead and make this a 404 page. So all these will be checked. So if the URL does not match any of these patterns, then it directly renders this page. So now let's just give a refresh. Have I imported? No, I have not imported the not found component. Let's just import that, refresh. You can see we get our home page. But if you go to something that does not exist like that, hit enter, and we see 404 page not found. So our not found component is rendering properly. So that was it for this video. I just want to show you how you can go ahead and add routing to our React applications. We also had a look at some hooks that we can use to get the parameters and these search parameters, the query parameters, and also some other things like that. So that was it for this video. Hope you liked it, and if you did, hit the thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more useful videos like this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye friends.